Welcome everybody to a very exciting Monday because we have our very first summer male swimsuit unit. This is a big deal. I think it's a big deal. And I think that people are going to need to show with their Visior that we like this move from Gumi, but you know, the unit's got to be good for you to pull on it. So let's look at the information we have so far, as well as some other pretty exciting news that we got, because this is an exciting week. Let's face it. So first off, there is going to be maintenance. Don't pull a Mysidia and forget to log in before the maintenance. I've done it twice. Both times I was quite busy, but it's still a rookie mistake. And I just I don't have a lot of regrets in my life. Those are 2 days I regret, you know. Clearly I have it going on pretty good then. I also made my video about quality of life updates, and it seems like we're getting a bunch of them soon. So the batch summon and batch using tickets to open JP chambers and resonance chambers are huge, so that's really cool. Frostbite is getting upgraded to take APOA before the unit acts when they start their turn. That is a really big buff. So Frostbite much better as a effect now, which is pretty cool. And then eventually we're going to get the Trust Stone update to have like a way to switch our sets more easily, you know, claim and send all friend points at once, etc. So lots of cool stuff on the way. Always appreciate that. Now, this is something that I didn't quite expect, but it kind of makes a lot of sense now that we see it, and there's a lot of implications here. So first of all, we've got a 100 cost global original Jayden, who's coming to global first, but may come to Japan at some point, and he has his own VC as well. And there's also a FFBE collab with War of the Visions VC, and now because of this, we're expecting a War of the Visions collab in FFBE tomorrow, which I will cover on this channel. So if you're interested in coming to FFBE from War of the Visions, check that out, because it's really cool to see like pixel versions of your War of the Visions characters. Like honestly, they just look so cool. So anyway, looking at what we have going on here, Jayden is a beachside stag, of course, and he has Arithmetician and Scholar subjobs, and that's actually really good because it means that he has some instant cast AoEs, different type of attack, so magic type attack, but he also might have a strike attack with Law of Geo Absorption, but he also has a bunch of buffs, right? So the Scholar sub has defensive buffs for himself, it has team buffs for the Wind Party, lots of really cool stuff there, but it also means that he's going to be able to take advantage of the Scholar job being buffed this patch. So we'll talk about that in just a minute here. But first of all, ability overview, the beachside blast drama. Now, if you haven't seen the video of this, it's really good. Like watch the video, listen to the audio. It's a really well done LB, and this is certainly very good. So it's a large range AoE that it inflicts slow, and we haven't seen that in a while, you know, who had that before, and it was so impactful. Slow is such a huge status effect. So the fact that it's on an LB, it means it has a 67 base chance to activate. This is like almost reason to pull him right here. This limit burst. But it gets better because he also has a barrage type AoE that will lower the reaction chance and then just deals a bunch of damage. It's got a good range height. So that's like the arcing range height. This is just like barrage, like a ranger skill. Then we have Suns Out, Guns Out. Yes! I'm thrilled with the ability name here. So just like his March of the Stags, it raises the agility of people around him, but it gives him, instead of a 60% magic boost, it gives him an AP restore. Now I believe down at the bottom here, it talks about it. Here we go. So a job that can perform long distance attacks based on magic stat, bestow AP auto restore, and then it says remove buffs from a target. So he's gonna have a dispel, and if you need a reminding of how powerful Dispel is, just look at little Leela the Bold right now, because she is, just killing people with that Dispel, that big AoE Dispel. So really big deal there. Then we have the Stag of Shining Summer, which is a vision card, great art, of course. Now this has missile attack resistance piercing rate up, slash attack resistance up. Now it's going to be like a 12% or something. It's not going to be the full 20, but then AP acquisition up, and that could be a full 50, or maybe it's going to be 35 or whatever it is. But that's a really good stat to have on a sub and on a main. This is a really good party ability. The bestowed ability is always nice. So you just get magic up and missile attack resistance. Getting a resistance on a bestowed is not that common, so it is always nice to have in case you really want to stack some resistances. But then the limited bestowed for Jayden is area attack, resistance up, and missile attack up. Both very, very applicable, very useful all the time. So really good VC for him, obviously. And in terms of just like if you have a wind account but you're not going to pull for Jayden, then you might not get this unless you use other wind missile units. But again, like this is gonna help sadly more Lucia, that's it, Lucia. So there's actually a lot of people that would take advantage of the missile attack resistance piercing rate up. There's also going to be this awesome VC, which is friend or foe, and it's this kind of alternate, reality where Lasswell and Jayden are fighting each other, and you can actually see there's a bunch of blood on Jayden's face. So from my personal interpretation, Lasswell has the leg up in this fight, and I believe it, with the true purple lightning sword right there in his hands. That thing's going to be doing some damage. So this looks like it's going to be a free VC because it doesn't have very much details. It just has like a general all elemental attack up, accuracy up, and then magic up for the bestowed. Either way, I'm kind of curious about this because the last War of the Visions FFBE crossover, we had a story event in FFBE where Mont and Rain worked together, and that happened in War of the Visions as well. And there was also Fina and Mashery. Now this would be kind of cool if we had a new story event where Jayden and Lasswell kind of competed or fought, or maybe there's a misunderstanding, whatever it is. I would love to see that instead of more Mont and Rain stuff. Although I'll take literally whatever they give me because it's all great. So we're also going to see the character quest 2s for the all the summer units, and then Lasswell as well. Lasswell's is pretty good because he gets like 40% slash resist penetration or something like that. But I actually did cover all of these summer upgrades in a video, so you can go check that out if you're curious about my thoughts on it. But basically, to summarize, I thought they're all good upgrades. Their jobs are also getting upgraded. But at the end of the day, I don't think a new player should spend Vizier on them just because of what you can spend your Vizier on. You can get more value. However, the players that already have them are going to be very happy with the upgrades. Okay, so here is the collab with FFBE versus War of the Visions. We're going to get a Creeping Malice, a boss that you can do once per day, and I guess there's going to be a count to see if we can get the rewards. But then there's also going to be a brutal quest or whatever where you can farm stuff, and we can get the Mind Flayer's belt. Very excited to see what that does because it's a new item that is, new to global. So very excited for that. You can get a bunch, well, not even a bunch. You can get some Vizier. It's okay. There'll be a Mog exchange. Actually, the Mog exchange last time was really good. There was a bunch of shards in there and stuff. So we're hoping that looks decent for this collab as well. We're also going to get a new gun called the Hydro Pump Blaster, which is pretty exciting because there haven't been any other magic guns until Alaya comes out. So this is a very cool looking gun. I think you're going to have to get a copy of this even if you don't plan to build Jayden, just so you can have like that cosmetic of having this gun on all of your gun wielding units. So does it actually say what this thing does? I don't know. Oh, we have another jeweled belt as well. Great. Okay, so what does the gun do? It's got to be either like spirit penetration or missile resist. It's probably going to be spirit because that's usually what they do first, but also we have a lot of missile penetration on things like the UR coat, and so on. So okay, and the final thing that I want to talk about are these upgrades. They're illustrated really well here, so just to very quickly go through them. Barrage having an AP cost down is a really big deal. Shadowbind is actually pretty nuts because the range is huge, and then on Lilith, Summer Lilith specifically, her chance to immobilize people is so massive that she can just be pinging multiple units, and this is the most intriguing upgrade for me for her. I really want to see if, like in manual play, you could just stop units dead at the back of maps with this. It would be very cool. Now I saw there was like some debate about how cast time works. The higher the cast time, the better. Every time a tick happens in the game, you add the cast time together. You're trying to get to 1,000. So for example, with the mega charge, if you go 320, the next number is 640, okay? Then you're going to 960, and then you get to 4,000, or then you get to 1,000. So it takes 4 ticks in game for you to cast the shot. Now, there's also reduction of total cast time. So if you have like a time mage and their cast time goes down by 250, that means you're not counting up to 1,000 anymore. You're only counting up to 750. But the actual cast time on a skill, the bigger, the better. That's how it is, okay? So we get cast time increases for the charges, and then Lilith gets an upgrade that we talked about already. The Strider sub job, some really good stuff here. So Frost Axe we know is way better now because the Frostbite skill is just really powerful at this point. The removing courage with twisting shield breaker, always good as well. Call of the Wild, I never had a problem with the uses, but that's not a bad thing to have. That actually, you know what, for those AoE buffs, it actually is a really big deal because sometimes with AI you end up using it twice in Guild Fight 1, and then you don't have it for Guild Fight 2. We talked about in the video how Kilfei is going to have insane levels of spirit after this, especially with Spirit Ward being upgraded. Now of course doesn't really matter because you could build her with a bunch of spirit, and she is going to have a lot pre-buff, but after buff she'll just put it on, and then Jayden's going to dispel it probably, so whatever. But otherwise, Kodama Wielder, another really big deal because Bursting Light is going to be faster to cast, you get more uses, it's a large damage, it's a big AoE, and it's guaranteed hit. So for example, someone like Summer Katone, but also someone like Gargus just got a huge buff here. Now Gargus doesn't have anti-magic wall, but he does have Unavailable Pain, which is now instant cast, so that's also a really big deal. So Scholar got some decent upgrades. I mean, really the big thing is that you can stack a bunch of unit resist. That's very applicable. And then Law of Geoabsorption, getting the range height, also very applicable. Law of Preservation is great, but it's hard to use all of these buffs. It's not necessarily my favorite buff. I do like the Restore CT and Decrease Cast Time buff more, just because it usually means that a Scholar can move up, cast it, and then get to jump someone in the queue, run in, and just like boom, magic punch them. So I don't know if I'm going to use this. And same thing with Invocation of Free Action. I got to see what the number is on the AP restore, but even then, it's hard to justify that when you have a lot of other buffs. Although, if you were able to give a significant amount of AP to your friendly units, it's pretty interesting. So yeah, that's going to be it for the news. Lots of really exciting things. So we'll definitely be looking forward to seeing Jayden's full kit on Wednesday. Now here's the thing, if you're on the fence about it, his banner actually runs all the way into September, so you have a lot of time. Do not rush this, right? If you're still watching this video, do not rush Jayden. You can wait to see how he performs early on, and you can still pull for him later. It's not a big deal. You can see what other banners come out before then. If we get Summer Helena, if we get a Glux, whatever it is, you can find out. You have the time. Now tomorrow you can expect a special news video for FFBE if we get a War of the Visions collab. If we don't get one, then I won't do a news video, but please check that out. Check out the game if you want, or check out my Discord where you can ask all the questions you want about FFBE, because I'm there and I'm answering them. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, everybody. You made it this far, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and then I'll see you all in the next video.